First up will be Stephen Goff from the Washington Post.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, Steven.
This wasn't a Gold Cup or a World Cup qualifier, but clearly to win in this manner, how important do you think was it for the team to start reestablishing itself in CONCACAF against teams that you will see frequently over the next 2 years?
I just think it was important for us to be involved in a game like this, especially for some of the younger guys to play against the CONCACAF opponent, to see the intensity that they play at. It was a very difficult game, very physical game, more physical than the Wales game. And, we needed that. The guys needed it. We had some guys calling for fouls and stuff. I said, these aren't going to be fouls. You got to play on. So it was a great experience. And, the first half, I thought we played really, really well. It was a slow start, but, it was really good all around. Excellent first half. And then the second half, as they ramped up the pressure and we lacked a little movement, it became more difficult, but that was the period I was most interested in. I was really interested in see were we going to buckle or could we hang in there. And not only did we hang in there, we pulled away at the end, scoring a number of goals. So I was pleased with the performance.
Next will be Brian Strauss from Sports Illustrated.
Thanks, Michael. Hi, Greg.
Hey, Brian.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Congrats on the win with lots of goals and also some teachable moments.
Yep.
Best of both worlds.
Yep, exactly.
Looking ahead, if you don't mind, I wanted to ask you to clarify a comment you may have made yesterday.
Okay.
You said something about 2 windows to go with this group.
Yes.
Before qualifying starts.
Yes.
And mentioned you. And so I was wondering, have you already decided how next year is going to sort of lay out in terms of when you're calling in your European A-listers, for lack of a better term? And does that mean they won't be involved in the Gold Cup? Is that a decision you've already made?
No, I wouldn't say that, Brian. I think, just talking about realistically, so we have the March window, right? So that's one window. And then I think it's an either or. It's not both. For Nations League or Gold Cup. I really don't think that it's reasonable to expect a player to play a whole year season in Europe, play Nations League, take 2 weeks off, play the Gold Cup for another 30 days. I just don't see that happening. I don't think the clubs are going to accept it. There's going to be a lot of give and take. So that's why I said that comment, because I just don't think it's going to be this group again. It will be one or the other.
Next will be Paul Tenorio from The Athletic.
Greg, Nico Giacchini today made a pretty strong impression, I think, overall in this camp, even just his post-game press conference. I wonder when you first started to see him and how he started to factor in and what impression he made on you through the week of working with him beyond just the 2 games, but in training as well.
You calling in from your basement? What do we got going on here? Oh, my God. Wow. Okay. So, he's a fantastic kid. And, I've had a lot of conversations with him leading up to this. I had a lot of conversations with him before the game. And you can tell he was a little bit apprehensive. My job was just to give him confidence and tell him that he's good enough. And he showed it tonight. Good penalty box movement. I think in build-up he could be more direct with dropping down and give us some of the help, but he stretched the line a couple times, and he gave us what I think we were missing a little bit in Wales. And it was good to have him. It's a shame he didn't get the hat trick on his debut, but on his debut starting. So, but a good performance from him for sure.
Next is Doug McIntyre from Yahoo.
Thanks, Michael. Hi, Greg. Congrats. Just to
Thanks.
Follow up on Paul's question a little bit. Given some of some of your forward options are not available this window or not called in, whether it's Giassi Zardes or Josie Altidore or Josh Sargent, how important was it for Nicholas and Sebastian to take their chances today and give you something to think about heading into next year?
It was really important. No, it was for both of them. And, really happy for both of them. Sebastian, I mean, what a dream start. He played how many minutes and got 2 goals. That's fantastic. Showed quality as well. For me, it was a good performance by him and Nicholas. But it's important, when we talked about last week about potentially the depth chart of the striker or forward position being limited, any chance you get, you need to take it. And these guys did a good job tonight.
Next we'll go to Jeff Carlisle from ESPN FC.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, Jeff.
You know, obviously, but the forwards were a talking point the last game, but you also brought up the fact that you didn't really get in behind Wales' defense enough.
Yep.
You know, what was different in that regard tonight, and what kind of helped you kind of unlock Panama?
Well, we were certainly more aggressive running behind their back line, and that's something we stressed, ever since the Wales game. We were way too static against Wales. Some good ball movement, but now the finishing move wasn't there. And I think today the intention was to get behind the line more, and that really helped the team. It really helped stretch Panama and gave us some space that we needed.
We'll go to Ivan Skolarcev from SBI Soccer.
Congrats on the win, Greg.
Thanks.
First thing I wanted to ask was, coaches hate giving up early goals, but did part of you kind of want to see how the response would be to that kind of early adversity? And the second one, it seemed like there was a lot of natural chemistry there between players who'd never played before together. What did you think of that just kind of natural connection we saw all over the field
Today?
Yeah.
Oh. No, I thought, again, what I was saying about the first half, I thought we came out slow. We got scored on, and then it was a wake-up call. And in that period after we got scored on until the end of the first half was really good. Really happy with that. Really lively, good ball movement, good connections with the players. Running behind the line. It had everything in it, and that was impressive from the guys. So really pleased with that. The second half, as I mentioned, as we had to grind, and as the game got more difficult, that was what I was really interested in the period, because it's always easy to play, when things are easy, right? And now it got difficult, and now I was interested to see how the group was going to respond, and I'm really proud with that response as well. The subs who came in made a difference, and overall it was a really good week.
Next is Joe Prince Wright from NBC Sports.
Hi, Greg. Congrats on the win. Wanted to ask you about Yunus Musa's display today. First and foremost, very similar to the Wales game. Seemed to dominate with those drive and runs from midfield. First on this display, and then secondly, what's the next step for Yunus now? Because obviously Gareth Southgate's come out and said that England really are hopeful that he chooses them in the future. Have you kind of planned out a path for where you can go with Musa after this camp? Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't read any of those comments, but I was really happy with Yunus's performance. I'm really happy with him in camp. The guys really took to him well, and all I've ever said about players in this category is that all we want to do is create an environment for them that they want to be in, that they trust is a good environment for their development. And it seemed like that was the case for Yunus. It seems like he sees us as a pathway to to continue to develop and play with a good young group. But in the end, it's going to be him and his family that decide. And and we're here for him to answer any questions. But it's going to be him that decides.
Next is Brian Shredder from American Soccer Now.
Thank you very much, Greg. Reggie Cannon, obviously you said you were looking forward to seeing him play in this, and he came away with 2 assists. Discuss his performance tonight and how he thought he did overall in this camp.
I liked his performance. I did. I thought, he gave us that verticality that we want. Even when he didn't get the ball, he was constantly trying to threaten the back line, which I really liked. Overall, to me, it was a strong performance. Reggie's a guy that has developed tremendously over these last 2 years. When we first came into to January camp in 2019, he didn't play at all in those games, and he was off the level. And since then, he's raised his level where he's in contention to be a starter on this team, and he's worked his way back since then, and has really developed a lot. And now he's pushing to be a starter on this team.
Thanks for finishing that one up, Greg.
Yep.
Next will be Leander Sherlock.
Hi, Greg. I don't imagine you spent a whole lot of time on Twitter yet, but what do you say to all those U.S. fans who, after spending a few years in the wilderness with the team, are now getting very, very excited about this young team?
I think it's great. All we wanted to do from the beginning is get the fans on our side. It was an important step for us. And, to think that people are excited to watch the team and we can play at home eventually in front of full stadiums and have excitement, and these guys can really embrace their role with the national team, and hopefully we can qualify for the World Cup and perform in a World Cup. But that's how it should be. I mean, I think we have a responsibility to perform well, to get the fans on our side, and we take that very seriously.
Next is Michele Giannone from Univision.
Thanks, Michael. Hi, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's you talk about next year, difficult year with a ton of competition. What do you see the U.S. starting the year compared to their main rivals at CONCACAF?
We don't focus too much on comparing ourselves right now. As we get into September, we'll start, really honing in on our opponents. We're trying to develop our group. We're trying to give these guys confidence. We're trying to give these guys, a way to play and, just enjoy every moment together. It's a great group of guys, dynamic group of guys. I'd like today how we make the game difficult for the opponent. I really like that. And, you saw that again tonight. So that's what we're focused on right now, Mikel. We're focused on ourselves and how we can just get better.
Thank you very much, Greg. And thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us, not just tonight, but throughout the men's national team camp from Wales and Austria.
Michael, sorry. And before we go, I'd just like to thank, all of U.S. Soccer staff that put on the game here. It was a big undertaking to get that done, but thank you to U.S. Soccer staff. Thank you to the staff that ran the team for the last 10 days. They did a great job. And also Wales, the accommodations there and the staff was great and was supported us in every way possible. So just thanks to all of them.
Thanks, Greg. We appreciate it. Have a safe trip home.
Thank you.